Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very nice tropical fruit soda, which as far as I can tell is pretty much anything left at the bottom of the barrels mixed together and then carbonated. Either way, welcome back to the game. And previously we finished off the cell block B, which is the left or western cell block here, which is obviously all death row. We added in these extra canteens and then frantically made this dormitory here, which is still in a state of flux and not finished, but we will get there. And well, we had a bit of an issue, and that was that the game basically broke, and we need to sort this track and belt things out. Now, I believe I've sorted it, so we are going to continue on, obviously, with the series on this one, and let me go ahead and just reconnect the router there. And what I want to do is I want to get, oh, there you go, look, so upon load, these guys here, they're actually being escorted over to the infirmary there. What I'll do is, the reason they're being escorted to the infirmary is they need to have a tracking belt installed for this grant, and I'm basically just doing it for the grant, and I'm going to do, see, Bolton and Bailey, that's been sorted, so I will do that and that, and let's see, yes, it can be removed, so that's fine. So we can remove the belt, we can put on the belt, and then that is now finish the grant off, and then I'm going to completely remove them. So that is that grant done. I think, like you say, it was just a bit of a bug there, and a couple of things fixed it. Firstly, a bit of a load, and secondly, if you had the inmates escorted to the infirmary, then it would work. So yeah, that's what's happened there. So what I'll do is, because we don't want this permanently in place, I'm going to dismantle all of those, and we'll never hear from them again. So in this one, we want to continue on building. I'm going to go with prison manufacturing facility, just so I can get our bank loan reduced massively, so we actually have a very positive daily cash flow. We want to put in more patrols. We want to obviously go through some of these processes and just make sure everything's basically okay. We also need to do some stuff for the dormitory. And breathe. All right, so that is pretty much sorted. So you can see there is a freedom need in this dormitory here. I knew that was going to be the case. If I go over to bird, I believe a bird that caters for the family and luxury need. I'm going to put a bird cage at the end here. This is obviously not very, very pretty. I understand that. It's just yeah, it is what it is. And is there some guy being... No, it looks like they have been tasered there. Okay, so over to deployment, and then to... I'm going to change all of this to staff only. And why can't I change... I don't know why I can't change that to staff, to this bit of staff only. It's just this whole thing is max sec, even though we've got the door there. And why is that permanently locked open as well? I don't actually understand why. Have I got that actually connected? I probably haven't, and it's on me, that one. No, it is actually connected. It just, for some reason, is always locked open, and I don't know why. Whatever. Anyway, we do need some more staff, so I'm going to go with 2 armed guards. I'm going to go with 2 more dog handlers, and then that should do for now. Okay, so... we're working on the dormitory here, and we'll see how we get on. I do think I might have to do some redistribution of the connections, because there is a fair amount of traffic going through here now. One thing I will do, and what I've been wanting to do for a while, is go to our food distribution, and you can see that, yes, all of the food distribution is now set, which is good. That's what we want to see. Yeah, okay, so the birds are in. We can see they've sort of gone over here, and we can see that there is basically a need for family and a need for freedom. So family needs, let's have a quick look at our needs, and then there is a need for freedom. Yes, add yard time, farming, fight clubs, and a cinema room. Well, none of that is going to happen. I don't know if there's any objects that will cater for the family. I don't think you can type in... Oh, I can type in family, and it brings up all of this. So, caters for recreation need. Not in there. Boombox. Yes. Actually, what's the grade of this thing? Should we double check? I'm going to guess it's grade 6. Absolutely spot on. Grade 6. That was more luck than judgment. So it does say we can add in sink and mirrors, comfy beds, fan, radio, boombox. I normally don't put radios in because of events and stuff. Table football, water cooler, drinks fountain. Drinks fountain we can probably put in. Drinks fountain. 1, 2, 3. It says how many. I can't remember exactly how much it said for the drinks fountain, but we'll put in those. We'll put in those and see what it does. We might have to add in a couple more. So small pipe. Prioritize that. And inmates are eating there. It's a very small, cramped area, but hopefully enough. Let's go to room quality. It's now rank 7, which is fine. That's all okay. Right, it is currently sleep time, and well, let's see then. It is prisoner Ed Ward. Where is Ed Ward? There you are there. Schedule execution. We will initiate prison-wide lockdown, which is now completed. We did have it on, I think it was 87% because of those 2 inmates that were stuck in the moving over to the infirmary. Assemble execution detail and escort witnesses to the facility. Now, obviously, this isn't finished, so this is actually more of a beta trial run than anything else, and we'll see then what happens and if this works. We have tested it, so it should be fine. Obviously, we do need to put in the flooring and such. We can see that we have the spiritual leader that has come to Edward's cell. There is a word for that, isn't there? Edward. Like the way the words are assembled, like Edward Woodward is like a there is a name for that type of semblance of words. We have all of our witnesses. I say all of our witnesses. We have Ward's wife and Ward's victim, which is on the other side. Will authorize the escort to the facility, and as I said, this is the first time we've done this, and obviously they brought through all of these automatic door servos and such, and yeah, a little bit obviously dark on this one, but let's see. Escort prisoner facility. So prisoner Ed Ward, prisoner number 13751910, sentenced to how many years? 25 years for murder, 18 years attempted murder, 25 years for murder, and 9 years for gross bodily harm. All pleaded not guilty. Likelihood of clemency is 0%, as mandated by the state. Authorise. And there we go. We will dismiss the witnesses and the staff. And we will authorise. Mandated execution of Ed Ward was carried out at 2:54 scheduled by electric chair in presence of the witnesses. Standard compensation of 10 grand is awarded for the institution for the part in the process. So 10,000 generic units of currency. And I could probably reduce our loan a little bit, but no, we'll keep it as is. And there you go. That is the process. And obviously that is probably going to be something that we will be repeating for the foreseeable on the facility, because, well, it is a death row facility after all. I am going to put in some flooring in here. I'm not going to put any more in because, quite frankly, yeah, it's expensive. And I could probably put other things elsewhere. Let's just double check our needs here. So we do have basically the need for freedom. So I don't think there's anything else I can put in terms of objects that would fix that. But I'm going to go down the list here. So wall lights and stuff like that. Paintings, no. Sinks, no. Football is recreation. The fan is just cools the air a small amount. TVs, no. I know that there's family need, which is the phone booth. Drink speaker radio. No, it doesn't say. Weapons rack, certainly not putting that in there. Water cooler and soft pillows. We could put soft pillows in. It's comfort and sleep, but it's fine. Going further down here, we've got boombox. It says makes room slightly happier. Video calling booth is family need, but again we've got the phone booths over there. Not many. There's only the 2, you understand. In fact, I probably could put in some more, but it's only really the freedom need that these guys are shouting about. I don't think there's much I can really put in, but we'll see how we get on. Let me go ahead and sell a lot of these objects. Some of them we will keep. So sell those. Sell. Medical box, sell. Capacitor, sell. A lot of these, obviously, we've not used. And that should be fine. There we go. Okay. Why is that always being removed? Interesting. Alright, so we're putting in the flooring in the centre. We can see the prisoner Bolton is going through death row appeal. What I will do is have a patrol in here of a guard and an armed guard. And I will probably have to get some more. And we've got some more inmates as well. So that is Tim Robinson and Simon Martin. And that's brought our bank balance into a decent area. Let's bring our loan to 0 because I really want to try and reduce that as best I can. We do have two grants, should I say, sorry. One of them is to raise our prison capacity to 50. We're never going to ever do that. And then have a production of license plates, a total of 30, which again we're never going to have. Because we don't have any of that planned off for this one. But we have got ourselves into a positive cash flow, which is excellent. That's what we want. And it's just a case now of seeing if we can run this thing. So we have our CCTV monitor. I am going to put in another one. Let me go ahead and go to wiring and then to CCTV monitor. That'll go there for 10 grand. It should be connected up. Yes, it is. And then once it's done, I'll get a connection there. So this one here is going to basically do all of these areas. What's that got? 6, and it'll have a total of 8. And then this one here is going to do that area, and then maybe a couple around here if I need them. We'll see. But I do want maybe one there. Do I want one on this side? No, it should be fine. Should be alright. Food seems to be working okay. In terms of staff, we've only got 2 cooks, but I think I should probably get a couple more. Just had a bit of tasering going on there. That is Oliver Massey, unknown reputations. Looks like they're being healed. Let's just double check our programs and staff programs. Fire safety training, 10 in the queue. First aid, 8 in the queue. Let's fire up both of those, and we're going to go with... Oh, it doesn't matter, fire extinguisher is already in there. I don't think we need a fire extinguisher in these areas, but I'm going to put them in anyway, just for the sake of completeness. There we are. We should certainly put in some flooring in the dormitory and in the new canteen, but it is sort of working. How many inmates do we have in there? So we have a total of maximum capacity is 10, and we have 9 maximum security. Wow. So I've massively underestimated the amount of the death row appeals that go through. Okay. That's a problem. I'm pretty much capped out already. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm going to have to put in another row of bunk beds along here. Like that. Which is far from ideal. But I need the capacity. I mean, I'm not overly concerned yet. I mean, I'm getting there. Truth be told. But, what's this? Some more mischievous... Oh, equip a tracking belt. Yeah, I tried that, matey, but... yeah, it didn't help out, really, long term. Yeah, so, as I said, I underestimated the amount of inmates that would pass death row appeals and go through. And that means that if I was to rebuild this... I mean, we're already talking about rebuilding it, and we might revisit the idea, but I would definitely have the dormitory at least twice as big. Obviously, we can do the same thing down here, but we've built already 2/3 of this, so it might... it might balance out. Right, what is the best course of action? I want to have this built again down the bottom. Is there anything I need to place in? What I'm going to do, I'm going to move all of these mats here. Like this. Like that. Okay. And then that one there will dismantle. Green energy goal A complete. 1 green energy source of each type will be delivered to the prison free of charge. How wonderful. What else can I put in this corner? I'm not too sure yet. Where's our green energy sources? There it is there. Can I install another wind-solar hybrid? I think I can. Wind-solar hybrid can go there. The other two I'm just going to sell. So sell that and sell that. I do think the order in which you get that is wrong. You should get that earlier. Looks like Paul Dennington is on 6% for their execution status. So, there's Bobbington, Bolton, Dennington. Paul Dennington. Schedule execution. It's becoming... I'm very aware, and it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge this. This could become a bit of a conveyor belt to the execution room. Not a fan of that. I mean, we're talking pixels. It is pixels. I firmly believe that, but it does have obviously a lot of connotations and baggage that comes with it. But anyway, let's see. We already actually, yeah, Paul Dennington already have their spiritual execution witness, the chief and the warden is over here. Escort the prisoner to the facility. We can see that we've got a lot of people actually over here. Denton's victim, victim. Denton's father, another victim, and mother. So the mother and father are probably not on speaking terms. They're at opposite ends of the wings here. And Dennington. Paul Dennington, while they're being escorted. It is... Is that the door we're waiting to be opened? So these doors, we probably benefit from having a automatic door servo on, but I don't think it's going to happen. So sentenced to 63 years for multiple crimes including murder, armed robbery and torture. Murder, 25 years, plea guilty. Armed robbery, 18 years, plea guilty. Torture, 5 years, plea guilty. And armed robbery, 15 years, plea guilty. So they've pleaded guilty to all of that. Obviously, likelihood of clemency is now 6%. The default level is, I believe, 5%. But if you get the research through bureaucracy, that goes to why is that door not open? Open. That goes to 10%. And yeah, let's authorize. And there it is. Just as like the guy doing the laundry just wanders past casually. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put that right in the centre. So we will dismiss the staff and witnesses and final report. There we go. Okay, so let's put in the flooring in and around here. This is going to be limestone going up as per. And then in here, do I just want limestone again? I'm just going to limestone the lot, because that's what we've got in here as well. So we'll have a similar thing. So there we go. And then I can start cloning. So how many inmates do we have? Death row 12. But death row status 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It only shows 5. Why is that? That's very curious. 13 past 41%. That's for our death row appeals. Oh, there's inmate nutritional research. Huh. Didn't realise I could do that. I'll do that next episode. I'll do the inmate nutritional research next episode. In terms of our needs, we're sort of looking after them, I think. We need to get this clone though. Quick build, custom, cloning. I'll clone it to there. Like that. And then I can clone that bit there. Yes, it only shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inmates. And Mark Jackson and Matt Curtis have now gone under the death row threshold. Okay. I'm guessing the game only shows 5 because it didn't anticipate someone hacking in, essentially a lot more. Like, well, in this case, how many have we got? Actually, that's a point. We're going to run out. I say that as if it's like a resource. Like I said, I don't want to have this as a factory, as it were. We have our intake. When we started the series, we edited the save file to make sure we could bring in the death row inmates. And that included... well, that was up to 50. We went up to 50 was our limit on that. So about there, is it? There. Yeah. We said 50. And that's what we've done. Okay. Let me pause it again, or slow it down again. Mark Jackson. Oh, there's Matt Curtis, actually. Likelihood of clemency, 9%. Schedule execution. So, standard procedure again now, and it is a standard procedure almost. Initiate prison-wide lockdown, test facility, done. Assemble execution detail, and escort witnesses to the facility. It actually brings up a valid point here. You know, obviously, death row. I wonder what the actual numbers are for that. What I mean by that is, on death row, how many times is, for the lack of a better term, apologies to be made here, how many times is that switch flicked per day? Like, how many times is that process gone through? I don't know. Prisoner Matt Curtis, prisoner number 13823376, sentenced to 63 years for multiple crimes including murder, armed robbery and torture, and all of them plead guilty. Murder 25 years, armed robbery 21 years, torture 6 years, grievous bodily harm 11 years, all plead guilty. Authorise. Well, I'll tell you what, the chief wasn't wrong. They did point out at one point that we could make a lot of money if we had death row added to the facility. Yeah, they are right. You can, and we have, sadly. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. We have managed to recover the save, which was the worrying part. We have sort of got the dormitory working, although as you can see we've already got 12 maximum security inmates. Some of these I might be able to remove. Let's have a quick look. So I want to find... Who is this? Scott Bolton. So if I go for Scott Bolton... Yeah, that's Scott Bolton. Intelligence and security. Bolton, remove prisoner, yes, 5 grand. So it costs you 5 grand every 5 days, and you can remove inmates. That was the whole plan with this thing. It's not really worked out that way, sadly. Okay, as I said, we are going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. Next episode, we're going to do the prison manufacturing facility. We're going to put in the other dormitory over here, and then probably lay some flooring. And then basically, it's the last sort of cell block to do, and obviously more sort of, yes, central processes to do, as it were. Either way, as always, hope you have enjoyed the episode and the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.